Upstone here for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily, and today is Tuesday, October the 4th, and we're going to be looking at some college football games upcoming this week, where we're going to look at the betting trends and kind of a preview as to what's going on and see what's happening. So, coming off a pretty good week overall. There's some interesting facts that we came out of from this past week. I did great on my picks in the NFL, but not so good college. Kind of ended up on the free picks. Now I'm talking about not so hot on the freebies on the college, but like I said, terrific on the others. Has some other things here, and I'm just looking down at a piece of paper here so that I can get them correct. If you go to the website and you follow these, the direction of the line move last week was fantastic at 15-5. So that was awfully good. Not always that good, certainly if you look at the season-long record, but it's going to have its moments, and it certainly did this past week. Now, the 80% plays, this is where 80% of tickets are written. That was terrific between the NFL and college, 6-0. And the numbers keep building on that, so that was very impressive. And the ones that were below 80% were also very good at 11-5. So good week overall. On my personal picks, college was down just slightly, but the NFL was a sharp 3-0, and the VPID Inner Circle guys were 7-2 overall. So very, very good on Sunday in the NFL. And in order to get a VPID membership, you can go right to the website, Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. $99.99 will get you everything you need for 1 month. Plus, you're going to get Wise Guy plays. You're going to get power ratings, a variety of different things that are all going to help you win more consistently. That's the bottom line, is winning more consistently, and that's what we're here to do. Top guys like Kyle Hunter, Sean Higgs, Jim Mack, and Dennis Macklin all are going to be there with their best bets in order to help you out. So, hey, let's get talking on some college football, shall we? And we might have this game come up 2 days in a row, which is going to be Louisville and North Carolina State. Now, the line on this game, Louisville opened at -1 and went to -4. Now, interesting to note that, in terms of the teams themselves, NC State potentially could have a better year. Defensively, they're certainly the better team. Offensively, they have a lot of nice weapons. Like I said, they can move the ball. But Louisville has Lamar Jackson, and he can overcome, in a lot of cases, some of their defensive shortcomings. So I think that's why the line has moved in that particular direction. The only thing that you have to wonder, though, going from 1 to 4, that jumps over a key number, and this game's at NC State. Now, even though Louisville has run roughshod over the last 3 years, you got to keep that in mind. Going over that 3 does matter. 67% of bettors are on Louisville at this time. Like I said, we might be talking about that game tomorrow when we have our NFL, let's say, look ahead, and we also cover the Thursday games if there are some line moves, and we certainly would seem to have one here that's going to qualify. Central Florida is going to be at Cincinnati. Now, Central Florida, they just demolished Memphis. That was unexpected in some circles. They did get quite a bit of action late, but early on, a lot of sharps were on Memphis, and that was proven to be completely wrong. The Central Florida has gone up from -14 to -17 at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is just a run-of-the-mill team. They used to be great at home. I mean, just fantastic. But now, lately, 1-8 against the spread. Still, this feels like a lot of points. I'm going to wait on this one and recommend that you do the same. If you like Cincinnati, grab them. I think this is going to be the high point, but I'm going to wait and see if this comes down, maybe comes back closer to the original, and then I'm probably more likely to consider Central Florida in that case. 90% of the betting action right now is on Central Florida. Duke and Virginia. This one kind of puzzled me. I actually went to look around to see if there was an injury report on Duke, especially like their quarterback, because the Blue Devils have gone from -2.5 to +2.5 at West Virginia. Now, I watched that Duke-Miami game, and Duke, yes, they got soundly beaten ultimately, but they were in that game well into the third quarter. They're a much improved defensive team. Miami is way better than, well, I shouldn't say way better. Miami's better than some people thought, in my opinion. Okay, I think this is a pretty good pretty good club that Mark Richt has, and I like what I saw. With them offensively, their speed and everything. Now, Virginia had a very impressive win on TV against Boise State at Boise State. But let's not forget, Virginia also lost at home to Indiana. Okay, Indiana's not bad, mind you. Not saying that, but kind of have to weigh these things out. Now, at Charlottesville, Virginia straight up has won 9 of the last 12 games against Duke. But right now, 58% of the bettors are on the Blue Devils. Another game with a huge line flip: Minnesota against Purdue. Now, Minnesota. They were horrible. I got it wrong. I'm first to admit. I had Minnesota as -13 against Maryland. They never even were close to covering the spread and ended up losing the game outright. Now, Purdue has a vibrant young coach. Both teams have new coaches, but right now, it's got a lot going on there, and I like the direction of this program. Minnesota looks slow last week. They're starting to get some injuries. Boilermakers have gone from +1 to -4. Now, I have seen a couple sites have taken this game down, at least temporarily, because the Purdue starting quarterback, David Blau, is now listed as questionable for the game with I believe it was a shoulder, so we'll have to wait and see on that. So that's going to kind of determine how this is all going to play out. 60% of the bets have been placed on Purdue. If Blau can go and he's good to go, I think you have to look at the fact that just in general in this series, the Boilermakers are 9-2 straight up and 8-3 against the spread when the Golden Gophers are in West Lafayette. Next up, Air Force at the Navy, the Academy game, one of 3 that we will have this year, which is always for the, what is it called? Not the President's Cup. I'm drawing a blank as to what it's called. So you can write in and tell me exactly what it is. I'll think of it probably before this is over. But if I don't, then I don't. The trophy, come on, President's Trophy or something. Okay. Anyways, whatever it happens to be, I still like the idea of watching these academies play. Always good football. In this one, Navy opened up at -10 but fell to -7.5, which is a little surprising if you just consider the team's records. Now, that's not the only factor here, but the Air Force is 1-3 and Navy's undefeated at 4-0. The Falcons won last year, but that was in Colorado Springs. This baby is going to be at Navy's home, and they're 7-3-1 when the Falcons come to town. Let's see here. What do we got on this? I believe it's 78% of bettors are on the Navy to start with. Go to the SEC where Georgia, who is rolling, is going to be at Vanderbilt. And the Vanderbilt, what a tough schedule they've had. Ranked teams. They played Kansas State, beat them. Played Alabama, number 1, got racked. Last week played Florida, played them pretty good. Florida's a good team, top 35-ish, and now they're going to play Georgia, who's top 10. Woo! Nasty schedule for the Commodores there. Commodores have gone from +14 to +17.5. The question in this game is going to be, can they move the ball on Georgia's fantastic defense, and can they stop their very potent running game? Vanderbilt's been getting run over on the defensive front. The only benefit that they have is that they're 10-2 coming off a road loss. I'm not sure if that's going to matter in this case. 89% of bettors are on Georgia. Finally, we're going to wrap it up with a makeup game, which is from the Sunshine State, Miami against Florida State. Now, Miami got shoved from a pick to -3, and it's pretty obvious as to why. The Hurricanes have, in watching both teams play, the Hurricanes have the superior offensive line. They have more team speed across the field, and they have what I would say, not athletes, they have better football players. So I think that's the key here in looking at this game. Florida State, as it turns out, in my opinion, quarterback or not, I think they were overrated coming in. Everyone assumed that some of the players that came back were going to improve. We have not seen that improvement. They were somewhat, I'm not going to say fortunate, but they had a little bit of luck go their way to win even at Wake Forest. In this one, 84% of the bettors are on Miami, and I might be with them too. So, hey, Doug Upstone here for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. That's what I got. I'll be back tomorrow to talk to you about the NFL, and I'm sure we might have that college game to go along with it. So, hey, have a great rest of the night. Enjoy the baseball wildcard playoffs out of the American League. I certainly will, because as of right now, I am out.